Hi guys, and welcome to this exciting tutorial where I'll be showing you how you can cut and sew your own beautiful bubble balloon dress with very easy steps that are very beginner friendly. Without further ado, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you won't miss out when I post new videos. So before we start sewing the dress, I want you to know that this dress consists of two circles, a quarter circle and a full circle. The quarter circle will be for the inner lining and the full circle will be for the outer dress. So we're going to find the radius for the full circle and for the quarter circle. So after finding the radius, we can now start drafting of the quarter skirt. I'll demonstrate on this paper because it's more visible for you guys to see how to calculate the radius. Then later on, we'll start sewing on the fabric. So in order to calculate the radius for the quarter skirt, you need to get your waist circumference divided by 1.57. So this is a standard measurement for the quarter circle. Then you're going to get your fabric without folding the fabric. Then you go on the tip of the fabric without folding it. So right at the tip of the fabric, you're going to mark your radius, waist circumference divided by 1.57. Whatever you calculate, you're going to get your measuring tape and mark it right at this tip. So you're just going to keep rotating and marking, as you can see. Then you're going to determine the full length of the skirts, and also note that the quarter skirt will be shorter than the full circle skirt. So for this quarter skirt, whatever full length you find, keep in mind that it needs to be shorter than the other full circle skirts that we are later going to draft. So after marking the full length of the skirt, I'm just going to connect and cut out with the pair of scissors. So this is the quarter skirt, as you can see. So now we're going to move on to the full circle skirt. So in order to make the full circle skirt, the technique is going to be different from the quarter skirt. For the full circle skirt, you're going to get your fabric, then you're going to fold it once at the center, like I am doing. So this is fold number 1. Then you're going to give it a second fold, as you can see. So this is fold number 2. Then after giving it 2 folds, right at this point, you're going to, not on the open sides but on the enclosed side, you're going to mark your radius. So in order to calculate your radius, you use the formula waist circumference divided by 6.28. So whatever you find as your radius, you're going to mark it right here, as you can see me marking. Then after marking your radius, you're going to connect the points, then determine the full length. But remember, the full circle skirt needs to be longer than the quarter circle skirt. So make sure the full length is longer than the quarter. The full circle skirt needs to be longer than the quarter circle skirt. So I'm just going to mark the full length and I'm going to cut out. So the full circle skirt is going to be the outer part and the quarter circle skirt is going to be for the lining. So I'm just going to transfer and cut. So this is the full circle skirt that is going to be the outer part of the bubble dress, and it's longer than the lining. The lining will be the quarter circle skirt. So as you can see, that's the lining and it's a beautiful quarter circle skirt. So the next thing I'm going to do, guys, this is a very important step. This is what will make our bubble. So you're going to measure the hem of your quarter circle skirt, which is the lining. So just measure as you can see me doing. Then once you measure, get that measurement and take it to the main fabric. So this is the main fabric. First, I'm going to cut and open it. As you can see, it's a whole big circle. I'm just going to cut it because this is going to make me easier for me to work. If you want, you can leave it closed, but I prefer to cut and open it. Then remember the measurement we got on our quarter circle. We're going to start gathering this main fabric and reduce it to the measurement for the quarter circle. So as you can see, I have just gathered the main outer fabric, which is a full circle. I've reduced it to the size of the inner lining, which is a quarter circle. So to be sure, you can just get your measuring tape and measure to see that the size are equal, the quarter circle and the full circle. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my lining, which is a quarter circle. I'll place it onto my gathered fabric. I'll place the right sides of the fabric facing the lining. Then I'm going to stitch at the hemline, along the hemline, as you can see. So I'm going to sew them. You can as well pin everything down so that it can be easier for you to sew. Pinning makes life easier. So after pinning, I'm just going to take it to the sewing machine and I'll be back. So I've just finished sewing, connecting and joining the two pieces together. I'm just going to turn it to the other side. So as you can see, that is how it looks. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to turn it this way. So this is the right side. I'll turn it to the wrong side. Just flip it the way this is the lining and this is the main fabric. Then you're going to stitch on this side from the lining to lining and fabric to line fabric. So you're just going to run a stitch from there to down there, lining to lining, fabric to fabric. Then after you finish sewing, this is how it's going to look. As you can see, the lining to lining and fabric to fabric join. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to flip it over, and remember the quarter circle, which is the lining, was shorter than the main fabric. So I'm going to show you the reason why the lining was shorter than the main fabric later on. So this is the right side. That is how beautiful it looks. So as you can see, I'm just turning it inside. I'm going to align the lining waist and the fabric waist together. So after you align the lining and the main fabric together, this is how beautiful it's going to look, and you're going to attach it onto your bodice. So this is the inside. As you can see, the lining is shorter than the fabric so that the lining should not protrude. I hope you see the importance of having a shorter lining than the main fabric. Then the next thing we're going to do is attach this bubble skirt to the bodice and make a beautiful bubble dress.